echoing the tremor in Bayan's heart as she knelt by her suitcase. Inside her few belongings lay folded an ordinary collection destined for an extraordinary departure. She paused, hand pressed to her belly, where a new life fluttered, soft and imperceptible yet fiercely alive. Jungkook stepped into the mansion quietly, his mind still racing with the day's birth. Evening light slanted through the high windows, but the silence inside made the room feel cold. Ahead in the bedroom, Bayan stood by the bed with a half-packed suitcase at her feet. When he realized what it was, his chest tightened. She was facing away, shoulders rigid. Jungkook's voice trembled. Bayan, why do you have a suitcase? His words came out softer than he intended, confused and frightened. For a moment she said nothing, then a low sob escaped her lips. Jungkook felt panic rise. What's wrong? Are you going somewhere? He took a cautious step closer. Bayan's heart pounded as memories flooded her. She had been dreading this conversation all morning. For 6 months she had lived with a silence that cut deeper each day. Their arranged marriage kept alive only by duty. The night they married was the only night she had felt truly hoped. He had come home drunk, stumbled into the bedroom, and taken her in his arms. In that moment, holding him close, she had believed maybe they could be more than strangers. She had given herself to him, whispering promises with every touch, certain at last they had started something real. But when dawn came, he left for work as if nothing had happened. She had woken alone to find life growing inside her, his child, and the ache in her heart had only grown. Now that child was months along, and she didn't know how to face him. Gathering strength, Bayan pressed her knuckles into the suitcase at her feet. Turning slowly, she let her tears spill as she looked at Jungkook. Jungkook, her voice caught. She swallowed hard. I am leaving. Confusion rippled over Jungkook's face. He stepped forward. Leaving? For where? Vacation? His tone was sharp with disbelief. Bayan, are you serious? We have never talked. What happened? Bayan flinched at the question, but forced herself on. She wanted to scream it all, every hurt, before it crushed her. You don't even know what it's like, she whispered, voice breaking. We have been married 6 months, and you have not once asked how I am. You never come home to me. You have been so busy with work, with everything else. She fought for composure, trying not to crumble. Jungkook's eyes widened. Pain flashed on his face. He took another step closer, guilt twisting in his gut. Bayan, She shook her head sharply, tears flowing freely now. I thought maybe one day you would love me, Jungkook. I hoped you would notice me, but instead I felt alone every day. Her hands gripped the suitcase handle as if to steady herself. Jungkook's heart lurched hearing her pain. He tried to speak, but found himself silent, unable to lift his eyes. You don't know, she continued, voice trembling. I gave up myself to you that night because I believed in us. But when I woke up alone, I realized you had forgotten everything. Her teeth clenched. I even wanted to tell you I was pregnant, our baby. But I was terrified. Terrified you had leave me too. Maybe I should have just left on my own. Shock and confusion hit Jungkook like cold water. He took a step back as if struck. Pregnant? He whispered, voice barely audible. Bayan's hand flew to her mouth. This was exactly the moment she had feared. Jungkook's green eyes were searching her face for answers. Yes, she finally whispered. Yes, I am pregnant. I have been carrying our child. Suddenly, Jungkook felt lightheaded. Images from that morning flashed before his eyes, waking at dawn, stumbling to his study to find the report on his desk, the envelope with her handwriting inside, the ultrasound photo and doctor's note. Screaming, "Congratulations, you are expecting." He had felt panic and joy squeeze his heart all at once. He had wanted to rush back and tell her, to say he cared, but just as he turned around, his phone had buzzed with an emergency work call. Duty had dragged him away before he could say a word. He closed his eyes, regret choking him. When he finally returned home, he had assumed Ryan was sleeping, and he never thought to ask again. Now the pieces fell together. Jungkook ran a trembling hand through his hair. Ryan, he murmured. The sound of her name on his lips was heavy with guilt. Tears rolled down Ryan's cheeks as she looked up at him. "All day I thought you had never known," she said quietly. "I thought maybe it was something I had to tell you, or maybe I was meant to leave you first." Her voice cracked. "I thought I had lost you already." Jungkook's eyes filled. Without thinking, he took Ryan's hand. It felt warm and real in his palm. "I know about the pregnancy, Ryan." His voice was shaking as he spoke the words that had been tearing at him. "I found out this morning." Ryan's breath caught. She had hidden the tests and reports so carefully. You know," she whispered. Jungkook nodded, pulling her hands into his. "I saw the report on my desk." He pressed her fingers to his lips. I'm sorry I didn't say anything sooner. I was an idiot." A shuddering breath escaped Ryan. He knew now. He didn't ignore her out of malice. He truly had been out of touch, scared, and then furious with himself. Ryan saw tears gleam in his eyes. He swallowed hard and continued, voice thick with regret. "I remember that night," he whispered. "I remember you. I remember how beautiful you were when I came home. I remember holding you and telling you I was sorry. I wake you up." His voice broke. I thought you might hate me for it. I didn't have the courage to ask then, and I was afraid I had hurt you. I was an absolute fool." Jungkook's shoulders gave a shaky shudder as tears spilled from his eyes. He bit his lip to steady himself. "But Ryan, I never meant to hurt you. Not once. Every day these past months, I kept thinking of you, wondering if I had made the biggest mistake of my life." He pressed himself to his knees, wrapping both arms tightly around her legs. "I was wrong," he sobbed quietly. "I was so wrong. I love you. I love you so much, Ryan. I'm so scared I lost you, scared that I destroyed everything." His tears fell onto her feet as he held on. "I don't want to lose you or our baby. I swear I will never make you feel alone again." Ryan's tears fell as well, but a tender warmth bloomed in her chest. She knelt down and slowly pulled Jungkook up so he was in front of her. He looked so broken, voice trembling with emotion as he spoke. She placed her hands on either side of his face. "Jungkook," she whispered, searching his eyes. I was so scared. I felt so alone without you." She wiped away a tear on his cheek. "I love you," she said, "but I can't keep loving the man who can't see me. Not when there is someone else inside me who deserves more." "Stay," he breathed with so much pain. "Stay for me, for our child. I will learn to love you the way you deserve. Please, Ryan, don't leave. I can't live without you both. Please." "Jungkook," Ryan whispered between her tears. He let her hands guide his face to hers. Their forehead touched. For a long moment, neither said a word, each just breathing against the other. When Jungkook finally spoke, his voice was raw. "I am sorry for being stupid, for not telling you I love you sooner. I will never do that again to you." Ryan felt his warm breath on her skin. She closed her eyes as he leaned in to kiss her softly. The kiss was gentle, full of apology and promise. When it ended, Jungkook rested his forehead against her thumbs, brushing her cheeks. I will love you every day, Bayan, he whispered, and I promise I will be the husband and father you would deserve. She opened her eyes. In them was hope and love, and he could see it clearly. She smiled through her tears. I hope you fulfill your promise, she said softly. Carefully, Jungkook took Bayan's hand and pressed it against her stomach. The baby beneath stirred. Jungkook's eyes widened in awe. We have a little one here, he breathed. Our baby. Bayan felt the sweet flutter of their child. Yes, our baby. He gently placed his other hand over hers. I'm so happy, he murmured, eyes filling again. I was so scared for a moment, but you are going to be alright. We will be alright. That's our baby, Jungkook said, voice filled with wonder, as if speaking to the child itself. Hello, little one. He smiled, a trembling, grateful smile. Dad is here now. I won't ever leave you. Vian's chest swelled at the sight. Jungkook speaking to their child with such tenderness. She wrapped her arms around his neck. I love you, she whispered, heart. I love you too, Jungkook replied, voice choked with emotion. He drew her into his arms so tightly she thought they might merge into one. They stood in silence, holding each other close in the fading light. Jungkook's tears dampened the fabric of her shirt as he hugged her, finally feeling the warmth of her body next to his after months apart. Outside, stars glittered in the sky. Inside, they felt reborn. Finally, Jungkook lifted his head and looked into Vian's eyes. We have our whole lives ahead, he promised softly. You, me, and this baby. No more running away. Vian nodded, feeling her fears melt away. I believe you. She placed a gentle kiss on his lips. Let's start over together. Always, he vowed, kissing her again. In the quiet room, wrapped in each other's arms, the past 6 months of pain and silence fell away. There were no goodbyes or heartbreak now, only a hopeful new beginning. And as they stood holding each other close, Vian finally felt at home.